Hi, and welcome to the Bitmoji breakout session of SPS 2021, Personalizing Your Platform with Bitmoji. We are thrilled today to welcome Alexander Remen from Kahoot!, one of our newest and most exciting partners. He's joining us today from sunny Oslo. Hi, Alex.
Hi, David.
Hey, we will talk to Alex in a moment about his role and how Kahoot! Have implemented Bitmoji. But first, I want to provide a little context. In 2016, Snap acquired Bitmoji, allowing us to grow the internet's avatar alongside a company that is reinventing the camera. And in doing so, a company that is empowering people to express themselves, to live in the moment, to learn about the world, and to have fun together. And since then, we've been working with our colleagues at Snap to bring the power of Bitmoji to every Snapchat user. So Bitmoji is now how you see yourself on the Snap map. It's how you chat with your friends. It's how you inhabit the world via world lenses. We even make you the star of your own Bitmoji stories and the hero of many Snap games. And the Snap community loves Bitmoji. Every day, over 200 million people use their Bitmoji. And in the US, over 75% of Gen Z have a Bitmoji avatar. And more recently, we've been working with our incredible partners to bring the power of Bitmoji everywhere. First with Bitmoji Kit and Bitmoji for Games, and more recently with our suite of tools we call Bitmoji for Developers. Our goal is to bring the Bitmoji to the best products in the world across content, communication, and games. And in doing so, to fundamentally improve digital life with the power of the avatar. Today, we're going to discuss these efforts, and we're going to learn from a company that is building an incredibly fast-growing business that is in part powered by Bitmoji. So I'd like to welcome Alex Remen, Head of Product at Kahoot!, to the virtual stage. Hello again, Alex.
Hi, David. Thanks for having me here today.
Thanks for coming. To get things kicked off, Alex, we'd love to hear a little bit more about Kahoot!, the company, and your role there.
Sure. Well, Kahoot! Is a global learning platform company that wants to empower everyone, including students, children, and employees, to unlock their full learning potential. Kahoot!'s game-based learning platform allows more than 8 million educators in 200 countries to motivate their students with learning games that we call Kahoots. Kahoots create true and lasting engagement. My role at Kahoot! Is to lead product development on the mobile side. Since we launched in 2013, we've seen amazing growth with more than 5 billion participating players to date. The shift to digital learning platforms has happened over time, but it has been accelerated further with COVID. And we have seen educators and parents have increasingly turned to platforms such as ours to bring learning and engagement to their students in the classroom, but also at home with their kids. So both in person and virtual. We expect this growth to continue in the future, as well as teachers, students, and parents adapt to the new normal of hybrid learning.
Thanks so much. I thought it might be fun to start with if we could give our viewers and our community a little overview of what we've been working on for the last few months. Thank you. And I have to say, if it doesn't work out in the education technology space, you guys could be incredible dance music producers because that is a bop. Okay, so I have a few questions I'd love to run through about our partnership. So let's take ourselves back to before we engaged. Can you talk a little bit about the role that visual identity played in Kahoot! And specifically like how you thought about it in relation to long-term engagement in the product?
Sure. Visual identities have always been important to teachers on our platform, especially those that create and share Kahoots. it's super important that the students recognize their teacher's profile and their learning games. And actually, teachers are very visual in nature. We've seen many of them uploading their Bitmojis manually, even before we integrated with you.
Yeah, and I remember the first time we spoke, we discussed this phenomenon of the Bitmoji classroom and how, especially during COVID, but even before, teachers investing in their visual identity via showing their Bitmoji was a phenomenon that was really making learning more personal and interesting. And I think we'll come to in a second how you guys were inspired by that. But in terms of the actual implementation and what we worked on, can you share a bit more about the process of implementing our tools?
Sure. So setting up the Bitmoji integration was really easy. And I remember the developer that did it, he just took a few hours to code the first prototype. And we've even set up a second authentication flow that allows our users to connect directly with Bitmoji without the need for Snapchat. It's actually a super smooth flow for users on our website as well that use a QR code to allow users to authenticate through their Bitmoji app on their phone.
Yeah, that's awesome. And we feel like that could have a really big use, especially in the education world. So, okay, what are we now, like 60 days in or something? Can you tell us a little bit more about the performance of the features inside the product?
It's actually super popular. We've seen users from 181 countries having set up and use their Bitmojis when they're playing games with their students. I think that the most successful part of it is that we also display the content creators' Bitmojis on our search and discover pages. If you show the slide, we can see that verified educators are being promoted on our front page, and many of them have chosen to use Bitmojis to showcase their collection of Kahoots. And this is on our front page with millions of users watching.
I love it. Well, it begs the question, can you share a little bit more perhaps about how these users, these Bitmoji authenticated users, perhaps behave differently to unauthenticated users?
Sure. So as you saw quickly in the video, we showed the teacher Bitmoji when a teacher hosts a game with their classes. And teachers that have connected Kahoot with Bitmoji, they are twice as active as teachers that don't have an avatar. And teachers with Bitmojis also host 50% more games than teachers that set up a non-Bitmoji avatar. So it really looks like they really love to show their Bitmojis to their classes.
Yeah, I love to hear that. I think one thing that we see both in our own products and in Snapchat, and now increasingly in our partner products, is that when people invest in this identity over time, specifically this bond they feel with their Bitmoji, simply the presence of it in a specific product almost encourages people to be more creative, be more expressive. And it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Once you see yourself in a product and you feel empowered to express with yourself, you want to use that product more. So it's amazing to hear that you have that you already are feeling this in such a short amount of time. So what has the response been from the community?
It has really been fantastic. If you put on the next slide, you can see that teachers have turned to Twitter to share their screenshots, and it has been a really huge success.
Awesome. Yeah. I remember when we launched, watching a specific search on Twitter come in and just seeing it like a waterfall. People were really, really into it. What about longer term? What do you think are the opportunities for Bitmoji and Kahoot, and perhaps for Bitmoji more generally?
Right. So I think we need to take this further, and it would be really nice to see animated Bitmojis in live games. And maybe we can even make them animated quiz show hosts in our games. And it would also be nice to see the teachers and students Bitmojis progress throughout the game. Now, other things that we could do is to allow our teacher community to be, or to power that teacher community to express themselves and to increase engagement. I think Bitmoji could play a big role in letting our 8 million teachers use Bitmojis to connect with each other and express themselves.
Yeah, totally. I think one thing we're seeing is the sort of the merging of products that were previously thought to be, let's say, just feed based, and then on the other hand, products that are more like immersive gaming experiences. And in products like Kahoot, you're seeing like this really like the tip of the iceberg of what we can do by bringing a kind of interoperable identity layer into the game. And I mean, it's really cool what we allow people to do. We allow them to sort of celebrate their victories or commiserate in their defeats. But I think longer term, we would love to give them even more freedom to emote and express in products like Kahoot. And I mean, gaming is really a natural place for us to start. So I feel like that's why we've had the success that we've had so far. Okay, so I feel like that's a pretty good overview. I first of all want to thank Alex for dialing in and for sharing a little bit more about his background and about Kahoot, and a little bit more of what we've been working on. Our fundamental belief as Bitmoji is that products are better with Bitmoji. And in working with Kahoot to bring the power of avatars to this community, we're also excited to show off these new tools that we're building to bring this thesis to life. And so to you, the viewer of the SPS breakout of Bitmoji, I want to thank you for taking the time wherever you are in the world to watch this. We are also excited to work with you. Every day, the Bitmoji platform grows, and we're constantly blown away by the creativity of our partners. If you want to learn more about this and all of our developer products, contact your local Snap Partnerships representative. Otherwise, thank you again, and we'll see you in the metaverse. Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.